Good morning, gentlemen and staff, and welcome to our college assembly. Each year, the college leaders will run an assembly, and today it is the turn of us Year 12 college leaders, and we will take the reins. This morning, you will see each of us lead a section of the assembly, which today will focus on the idea of a community. We are a strong and united community, and one that I have the privilege and honour of leading this past year. So, as is customary at events at St. Greg's, we will start our assembly with an acknowledgement of country, led by Declan Jarrett, our First Nations leader, and prayer, led by Declan Malone, our Marist leader.
My name is Declan Jarrett, and I'm the First Nations leader and also a proud Bundjalung man born in Coffs Harbour. I pay my respects to the Darug people and also extend that respect to their elders past, present and emerging. I would also like to acknowledge the many First Nations people that are gathered here today and that join us on these sacred lands.
In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. Loving God, we gather as one family, grateful for the gift of our Marist way. We thank you for our teachers who, like St. Marcelin Champagne, guide us with patience, wisdom, and love. We thank you for our friends and classmates who make our school a place of welcome and joy. We thank you for our community, all those who together form a place of welcome where your Spirit lives and breathes. Loving God, as we celebrate community, help us to remember to live simply, to love tenderly, and to walk humbly with you each day. We ask this through Christ our Lord. Amen. St. Marcelin, St. Gregory, Mary, our good mother, and let us always remember, in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. As we begin our assembly this morning, please stand and in strong voice join together in the singing of the Australian National Anthem.
Good morning, everyone. I'd like to do something different today. Instead of just hearing from me, I thought it would be valuable for us all to hear about the culture of St. Greg's and learn a little bit more about a few of our staff. So could I please invite to the stage Mr. Gaspy, Mr. Van Homan, Mrs. Monty, Mrs. Gardner, and Mr. Newell for a Q&A. All right, I'd like to start with introducing ourselves, how many years we've been at the college, and the role you play at the college. You just pass it around.
My name's Mrs. Gardner. I'm currently in my 20th year at being at the college, and my role is as Head of Department English.
I'm Mr. Newell, and I've been here since 2011, so it's my 15th year, and I'm currently the Head of Year 10.
I'm Mr. Van Omen. I've been here just over a year and I'm the head of Year 7.
I'm Mrs. Monty. I'm in my 19th year and I am a science teacher and also the Right Journey project officer.
My name is Mr. Gaspy. I'm just served over 2.5 years at Greg's and I'm an English teacher.
Awesome. So first up we have generalised questions. Any of you teachers can answer these questions. So first up we have, what is something we may not know about you?
There's probably quite a lot that you don't know about me because I don't often spend time in class talking about myself, but you may not know that I am a published poet. You may not know that before I became a teacher, I trained to be a flight attendant and I worked at Australian Associated Press and I also worked for a media company. And you may not know that I taught Mr. Weeks when he was in my Year 8 English class at Mount Carmel.
Some may know a couple of these. Mr. Sean Humphreys was a member of my first ever class in 1992 at St Paul's at Camden. I also taught Mrs. Sawyer and Mr. Goodhue at Mount Carmel, but I don't think anyone knows this one, that I actually coached Mr. Morrison and taught him everything he knows in a rugby league rep side in 2008.
My original career before teaching was as a civil engineer, and then I went backpacking through the Himalayas for 4 months. So my first classroom was in a tiny little school in Nepal, and in my first lesson I had a cow walk through the back of the class.
I guess for me there's a few things as well, but I share a lot in Right Journey, but these things are a little bit different. I had a job as a tour guide overseas for a company called Top Deck through Europe. I have run with the Bulls in Spain, and I coached the second grade rugby league team here in 2007 as undefeated premiers. Oh, and I love crochet.
Well, many of my Year 9s would know this, but you may not know that before I was a teacher, I used to be a DJ. And I had dreams of making it big. You know, there was a really good time for music. So if you didn't know, I came up with the best DJ name as well, right? So if you take my name, Gaspy, right, and you get the I at the end, and you flip it, it becomes an exclamation mark. DJ Gasp.
So what do you think makes St Greg's unique compared to other schools?
I would say that essentially we have really good people here, and I know that people come and go and students come and go, but at its core we have a really good community and really good people.
I think about the St Greg's sense of occasion, and the students from the time I started have always had that capacity to read the room. I generally believe that when we do it well, we do it better than anybody else. As our engagement in singing at masses and liturgies, I've never heard anything like it when it's done perfectly here like you generally do.
2 things for me. The first is family. I really feel a sense of family here, not just with all the students, but extended families, old boys as well. I taught a lot of boarders that used to come to St Greg's from a little country school, and the other thing is manners. They always came back, they were very polite. They were exceptional young men after being at St Greg's.
I'm kind of going to stick with the same theme here, having been here for nearly 20 years. It's the relationships, and it's with you boys, it's with the staff, it's with the junior school, the families, the old boys that I've known now for over 20 years, and the rising to occasion. They are there for you in tragedy. They're there for you when you need to celebrate. I don't think I would have got through the death of my father without this community and the way that people held me up in such a difficult time. So I think that's something that's extremely valuable, and you hear when other teachers have left the place, they look back and say, we'll never find another place like this. And when new staff come in, they often comment, about what wonderful staff we have and what wonderful boys we have. So I think it's something that, it's probably why I've been here for so long, because I'm scared to leave it.
Just to second that, the mannerisms, I think that was one of the first things that really stuck out to me. But after 2.5 years, I feel like the school, the students, the people who I work with every day, it really brings out the best in me. And I really feel accepted by my students, my staff, my peers, and I really feel supported by that. And I think that's quite an important thing, you know, growing up, to feel that energy, to feel that love from everyone. So much thanks to everyone.
Now, this question's a lot similar to what I just asked you, but for Mr. Gaspy and Mr. Van Homan, what have you found most surprising about St. Greg's compared to your past schools, if you have had any?
At last count, I've worked in about 8 different schools. Once again, I'll probably say what I said before, it's that sense of family and community that's so strong at St. Greg's between the staff, the students, the old boys, parents. The second thing is manners, and the third thing is singing. I've worked in schools which are bigger than this, and the students don't sing, and I think it's something you can be so proud of, is how well you sing. And not just for me as a new teacher, but I'm sure your parents as well are so proud of you and how well you sing, because that gives a sense of what it means to be a Greg's man. At Greg's we sing, and you definitely model that every time we come together.
Just repeat the question again.
So it was, what have you found most surprising about St. Greg's compared to your past schools?
As I mentioned before, it brings out the best in me, and I'm always trying to learn what the students are doing, what they're saying. One day I was closing up my classroom, and the student came up to me and he said, "Sir, why are you aura farming?" I said, "Sorry, what? Farming for aura?" He goes, "Yeah, I saw you at the assembly, you were aura farming." I thought, well, I heard that a couple of times, so always learning, I'm always learning.
And for Mrs. Monty, Mrs. Gardner, Mr. Newell, from your years here, how have you seen the college grow and develop over time?
Given that I've been here for 20 years, a lot has changed, absolutely. But I think the most significant change that I've seen is just with the building that has gone on at the school. I know that when I first started here, beyond the cricket ground, there were just paddocks and cows, and now there's an entire suburb. And that does make me a little bit sad when I look out, because that was an amazing view to see every day and to have in your workplace. But I know that people need places to live, and that's why there are houses there, but that's probably the most significant change that I've seen. And then AI and ChatGPT and things like that.
I was about to say exactly the same thing. I'll just add that there's the other change that we've noticed is that the St. Greg's uniform being worn by girls is something that certainly wasn't here when I began, and that's been a fabulous inclusion as well, with the junior school developing in the way that it is.
I was going to say the same thing. So obviously cross country used to be out to the back gate, which is Camden Valley Way and back, which is about 6 k's I think, and those sorts of things where we had access to all that land to do even field trips. As a science teacher, would go out and do different ecosystem assessments and things like that here. So losing that has been quite sad, but you know, as Miss said, people need places to live. So we've changed in that way. But I think the biggest thing that we haven't changed is the young men that come through here and that we produce from here hasn't changed. So I think that while so much is changing around us, we have such a strong set of values and models here that we're still being able, with all the society pressures that are on us, social media and AI and all that sort of stuff that is being thrown at us constantly, we have got some sort of force field, and we're still able to focus on the heart and focus on you boys. And even if you push back against it, in 5, 10, 15 years when you're an old boy, you always come back and see a teacher down the street and the smile is huge, and so we're producing great kids even with all those changes going on. So that's I guess a change, but sort of not a change, if that makes sense.
Awesome. That brings us to the end of the Q&A. I'd just like to thank you for your responses. It just shows that the community is part of us boys. Like I've had a few boys come up to me and say, "Oh, I want a jumper, like with a hoodie and stuff like that." And the uniform's kind of part of who we are. The school wouldn't be who it is today, where it is today, without the rules we have in place, the masses that we go to, and the assemblies that we're all here today at. So I'd just like to thank the teachers again, and that brings us to the end. Thank you.
As we know, St. Greg's offers our students plenty of opportunities, not only in the classroom, but outside the classroom. This morning, I would like to call to the stage Mr. McGovern to share some great achievements in soccer, followed by Ms. Sligo, who will speak about the 2 Year 7 teams who were in the PDS football finals yesterday.
Thank you, Aidan. Good morning, Mr. Weeks, Brother Ernest, teachers and students. It's my great pleasure this morning to present the first grade soccer squad. The students will come forward and receive their medals which they earned at the end of term 1 for the PDS, and I'll also give you a wrap-up of the other football experiences we've had throughout the year. So starting with our captain, Chewe Kamafusa. Our goalkeeper, Oliver Bishop. The defender, Levi Tuiotti. Another defender, Jet Jeffress. Midfielder, Declan Malone. Defender, Yanni Pavlakis. Midfielder, Sebastian Francois. Attacker, Luke McElhone. Midfielder, Luka Mandalinic. Attacker, Merv Stone. And attacker, Jet Galea. Defender, Jesse Cuttajar. Defender, Ben Lepre. Attacker, Max Glavin. Midfielder, Mahir Bunzer. Defender, Adam McElhone. Attacker, Alex Trull. And midfielder, Brendan Clark. So we'll hold the reports to the end because I'll give you a wrap-up of what they've done. It was a fantastic season for this squad. It all started back at the end of term 1 with a PDS knockout day. The initial squad included 4 Year 10s, and they braved a cold, drizzly day out at Penrith, unsure about how the team would measure up against the opposition for the year. It ended up going pretty well. We were undefeated for the day. and it culminated in a tough grand final match versus St Dominic's at Penrith. And our St Dominic's are now a sister school to Manchester City, so they have all this extra money in their soccer coaching programs. So we knew we were up for a tough one. The game ended in a 0-0 draw, and we were able to hold our nerve. And actually, Alex Strong of Year 10, he kicked the winning goal. So we took that out, and so that's why they won their medals for today. So can we give them a round of applause for that knockout win? So that victory qualified us to the quarterfinals of the CCC knockout tournament, and we'd play the winner of the Wollongong area. However, we had to wait. Wollongong had to organise it, and it was nearly a 15 to 20 week wait between those matches. So in between that, we had our regular Thursday PDS competition. So we were buoyed by a good knockout result, and we carried our form into our PDS regular season, and we won every single game. So that meant we came top of our pool, and in the wisdom of the PDS conveners, they decided to skip the semi-finals and go straight to a grand final, and that would have been fine regularly. Unfortunately, it was scheduled 2 days after our quarter-final game for the CCC knockout. So on the Tuesday of the last week of, what week was it? Week two. On the Tuesday of week 2 this term, we went down to Wollongong to play Edmund Rice, who we knew were a hotshot team. They had beaten these guys when they were in Year 10 in the knockout, and we couldn't have started off worse. Within the first minute, we conceded a penalty where the ball was kicked into Levi's hand, which he couldn't do anything about. So 1-0 down after the first minute, and the boys could have easily dropped their heads, but they fought even harder. Sebastian Francois cut off a pass in midfield and scored a 30-metre shot into the top corner to level the scores. So at 1-1 at half-time, we were dominating, and they were scared. They were really scared. The second half started. It was much of the same. We had most of the play. Unfortunately, their striker broke through the line, and our goalkeeper came out and mistimed his challenge and took out their player, and he was shown a red card. So we had 20 minutes left to play with only 10 men, so one man down is very difficult. Declan Malone stepped up to be our goalkeeper because we don't have a reserve goalkeeper, and he played like a man possessed. He was stopping shots, punching balls out, making sure that they never scored. And eventually it went to extra time. At the end of extra time, they still couldn't score. And we went to penalties, and we unfortunately lost penalties. Okay, so it was a really, really tough game, and they were really unlucky. But, what can you do? 2 days later, we had our grand final against St Dominic's, who we beat in the PDS knockout, and we had a really good start, even though everyone was really flat that day because they had a really hard game on the Tuesday. Some of the boys had their matches for their weekend teams on the Tuesday night or Wednesday night, so they had a lot of sore legs and heavy legs that day. However, we started 1-0 again. Sebastian, with another wonder strike from 30 metres, put us up 1-0. But just before half-time, we conceded another penalty, and then we also conceded a goal from a free kick. So we're losing 1-0 at half-time. We're losing 2-1 at half-time. In the second half, St Doms didn't have one shot in the whole second half. That's how much we dominated and were putting pressure on them. Unfortunately, we couldn't get the winner, so we lost that grand final. So unfortunately, we went from being undefeated for the whole year to 2 losses in 3 days. And so the boys are really dejected, but I'm super proud of them and all the efforts they put in this year. And so just a few points to finish off. First of all, I've never been involved with a team that got pumped up before the game by saying a Hail Mary in Italian. All right, so that was a new one for me this year, boys. In a testament to our defensive efforts, we actually didn't concede one goal from open play in any competition, in any game this whole year, which meant the only goals that were scored against us were either from a penalty or from a free kick. All right, so that's a really good thing to hang your hat on, guys. I'd also like the boys to know that those 2 games don't define your season. The way you conducted yourselves on and off the field this year are a testament to your character. And throughout the year, I've had many coaches, referees, and conveners of competitions come up and say, what a fine bunch of young men you are. So that's really good to think about. And finally, I want to say a big thank you to Mr. Tyler and Mrs. Sawyer, who at different times have been our managers throughout the year. So thank you very much for your support. So can you please join me in congratulating the first grade football team for 2025.
So I assure you that the future of soccer is very bright here at St Greg's, because I've had the honour this season to be working with the Year 7 and 8 soccer teams. It's a new sport for me. Some of you may know Ted Lasso. Ted Lasso has been my inspiration, because it's definitely a sport I don't know too much about, and probably still don't know too much about, so I won't be going into the detail that Mr McGovern went to about our games, but I certainly do want to introduce you to the two Year 7, 8 soccer teams who both played grand finals yesterday. We had one win and one loss in our grand finals. The win occurred for the B team, who were playing in Division 3, and runners-up in the A competition, in the first division competition for the Year 7 and 8A team. So I'll introduce you to the team. The Year 7 and 8A team is Jake Cameron, Lucas George, Kai Harding. They've already received their medals, so just a handshake, Aidan, would be great. Ethan Hornby, Jack Higginson, Kai Attard, Levi Carr, Kobe Claxton, Dominic Karam, Isaac Love. Isaac's the goalkeeper, I know that position. Zane Mallinson, Rylan Miller, William Porter, and Lucas Rota. The Year 7, 8B team is Samuel Bastoli, Jonas Cox, Jacob Dundovic, Ollie Hames, Kai Roberts, Lorenzo, Mission, Nicholas DeFazio, Liam Fishlock, Christian George, Johnny O'Frider, Sampson, Flynn Salter, and Yasha. Yasha has the Division 3 trophy. If you could present that to Aidan on behalf of the teams. And could we congratulate all members of the Year 7 and 8 soccer teams. Thank you, gents. Thank you, gents. So these teams have been coached predominantly by Mr Porteous, who has now travelled overseas and is no longer here for the glory today, and Mr Gowing, who unfortunately is unwell this week. So I've stepped in, and yesterday also Mr Whitnell stepped in as well. So congratulations, gents, on a great season, and I'm sure that Mr McGovern will be looking at you closely in the years to come. Thank you, gents.
Thanks, Mr McGovern, Ms Sligo and coaches, and congratulations, boys. Can I now call upon Mr Baz to the stage to share with us some great results in the Gordon Feder Place public speaking, followed by Ms Gardner to speak about the 2025 debating finalists.
The Gordon Feder Place public speaking competition held on the 23rd of June this year, is the school's internal public speaking competition. In many respects, it is the most important competition of the year. Its aims are twofold. Firstly, to promote public speaking among our experienced speakers. However, the second, more important objective is to encourage inexperienced students to give public speaking a go. Each of the 3 divisions had encouragement awards specifically for such speakers. There is no better testament to this competition than the old boys who, having competed in the competition themselves, come back with enthusiasm and respect to adjudicate. The contribution of the ex-student adjudicators is one of the reasons this competition has lasted 34 years. The students who entered this year likewise conducted themselves with great enthusiasm and respect. They honestly showed the college at its very best on the night. I would like to thank Ms. Curry, who contributed so much to the organisation of this year's event. I would also like to sincerely thank Mr. Brennan and the college executive, who gave the competition very strong support. And without further ado, I'll announce each of the 3 divisions and start off with the junior division. And likewise, Matthew, if we just have a handshake, their trophies have already been awarded. So and if we save our applause to the end of each division when I announce the first place getter. So in the junior division, years 7 and 8, the first encouragement award went to Edward Taylor of year 8. A second encouragement award to Gillian Pordell of year 7. And a third encouragement award to Levi Kidd of year 8. Third place in the junior division, Peter Dedgeling of year 7. Second place, Harry Smith of year 8. And first place in the junior division, Tate Johnson of year 7. Let's give them one more round of applause, please. The intermediate division, years 9 and 10. First encouragement award to Jack Hobday Wade of year 9. The second encouragement award is to Shriyansh Ate Pemula of year 9, who is absent today. Third place, Billy Corkill, year 9. Second place, Jeremy Price, year 10. And first place and winner of the intermediate division, Lachlan Selby of year 10. And one more round of applause, please. In the senior division, years 11 and 12, the one encouragement award to Joshua Harris of year 11. Third place, Nicholas Larson of year 12. Second place, Hayden McGlynn of year 12. And first place and winner of the senior division, Ethan McGlynn, also of Year 12. And one more round of applause for all divisions. I will now ask Ms Gardner, the coach of the Year 7 debating team, to talk about their success this year. I would like to thank her for her considerable efforts travelling all over Sydney and beyond with the team over their 11 debates. And I would also like to thank Ms Smith for driving the supporter bus on grand final night to Marist College Eastwood.
Thanks, Mr. Baz, and good morning, everyone. As Sir said, I'm here today to acknowledge the 7A debating team and their success in the CSDA competition for 2025. Before I ask the team to join us on stage, I'd just like to extend some acknowledgements and some thank yous to people who have contributed to the success of this team this season. Firstly, to Mr. Baz, for his organisation of the competition, not just for the Year 7 team, but for all of our debating teams. It's actually a lot of work to bring everything together every week as we make our way through the debating season, and thank you, sir, for your efforts. I'd like to thank the leadership team, in particular Mr. Brennan, Mr. Weeks, Mr. Bombardieri. Every single week we had a leadership team member present to support the debaters. Again, not just Year 7, all of our teams, and I really want to thank them for that. I know they're not here today, but I'd also like to acknowledge the Year 7 debating team's parents. Every single week, parents of these students were on site watching their sons debate, and I hadn't actually seen that before. It's a really lovely thing, and I know they're not here, but they were travelling all over Sydney as well to be present for their sons. Thanks to Brother Ernest as well, who gave us some tips and strategies along the way and definitely contributed to our successful season. Finally, to the amazing 7A debating team for their accomplishments this season. At this point, I'm going to ask them to join us on stage, and Matt is going to present them with their awards. So firstly, our first speaker, Noah Smith. Our interchangeable second speakers, Charlie Jackson and Oliver Malisi. And our third speaker, Tate Johnson. Could you please congratulate the 2025 CSDA Grand Finalists? I'll just ask the boys to stay there so that I can speak a little bit about them. I won't go into too many details about the intricacies of debating, but needless to say, to make it to the grand final of anything, you have to be pretty good at what you do. You have to be willing to listen and to learn. You have to be willing to practice and train. You have to be willing to develop your skill set so that you can defend tougher and tougher opponents every single week. These boys have done this throughout the season. They made it all the way through to the grand final. And I know that I'm very biased because I'm their coach, but I truly believe that if the coin toss had gone in their favour and we had been the affirmative team that evening, that these boys would have been the grand finalists. Needless to say, to be runners-up is a huge accomplishment. There were 100 teams in their pool this year, and this group of students made it to the final 2. To add to that, these boys had never really debated before, and they certainly hadn't worked with each other. So the way that they've come together as a team, collaborated, learnt from each other and worked together has been really amazing to see. Gentlemen, it's really been an honour to be your coach this year, and I congratulate you on your fantastic success.
Congratulations, boys. I would now like to introduce our musician of the week from Year 12, Oliver Tanous, playing the saxophone.
Congratulations, Oliver, and thanks for your performance. As this year's boarding leader, I would like to share a short video which highlights some of the characters of our boarding community. As a college boarding leader, I'm so proud of representing a strong community of boarders. As we very quickly move towards the final few months of our time here, I really enjoyed making this video. Could I say a big thanks to Mr. Whitnell for making this happen.
One of my favourite memories from boarding here would have to be family weekend last year. We got the win over Trinity and it was just like amazing. Even I got one of my favourite photos is seeing Mr. Singh on the hill smiling with all us boys, and just like one of my proudest moments here.
What's a personal achievement that you were most proud of?
Personal achievement probably be making my Peter Marlin Cup debut last year against Doms. It was pretty special, especially in year 11. Like, you don't say that and I'll remember that for a lifelong memory.
And who is your least favourite supervisor in boarding?
My least favourite supervisor is Blake Truman. Horrible chat.
What's been your favourite boarding tradition so far?
Favourite boarding tradition is probably the rugby union chants. You know, being a part of it and then also having the chants be chanted out for me. So, it's probably one of the best feelings you've ever get.
What's the best thing about the friendships that you make in boarding?
Best thing about the friendships would probably be that, you know, you got mates from all over, like New South Wales, Queensland, Darwin and that. So if you're ever in town, you know, you can just like hit them up, meet them up, stuff like that.
And what advice would you give to a new boarder who's just starting out?
Advice would be, you know, just stick it out. It's a long process, but it's definitely worth it. You know, make a lot of friends along the way, and you know, probably just jump at every opportunity you can. It's worth it.
Tough adjustment you had to make when you first came to boarding school?
To be honest, I reckon it was just like having to leave old mates and stuff from different schools, but it made it a bit easier, like having the boys here that we have.
Yeah. And looking back, what is one lesson that you'll carry with your whole life, through your whole life?
Just, I'd say, making the most of every opportunity and just getting amongst things where you can, that sort of stuff.
Favourite sporting moment while you've been at St. Greg's?
I got a double intercept in my first 15 debut in year 10.
And who is your favourite supervisor in boarding?
Mr. Halifanor.
Who has had the biggest impact on you during time here?
There's a lot, but we have to say Brano. He's probably been with us throughout most of like my boarding school here. He's just been a really easygoing person, someone easy to talk to, and just real laid back.
And who's your biggest character in boarding and why?
I reckon either Eli Hill or Ryan McKander. They're just some really outgoing, loud people, and whenever they're around, you can definitely tell, just real noisemakers, eh? But yeah.
Who takes the longest to get ready in the morning?
Not Baylor actually. Preston Smallwood takes the longest to get ready in the morning. Normally gets up with 2 minutes before we have to wake up, and doesn't normally have a shower every morning.
Okay. And who's the best golfer in Year 12 boarding?
It's me again. I'm a scratch golfer. Get paid to play and beat Jackson O'Hare every weekend when we go for a golf game.
It's not true.
It is true.
Jacko, what's been the best part about being boarding captain?
This year, being the best part about being boarding captain has just been getting to know all the boys from years 7 to 12 better, and sort of building a family community over here on this side of the road. I've really loved it, and it went quick. So
what will I miss most?
when this year's Year 12 group has gone. I suppose just how close they all are. Doesn't matter who you talk to or whatever it is, or how you separate them. They've always got some way of bonding together and really being a group. And I don't know, they're all top blokes.
Thank you, Jackson, for putting together that video. Next, can I now please call up Mr. Weeks to the lectern?
All right, I'm going to be fairly quick this morning, but good morning, everyone. Good morning, Brother Ernest, staff and students who are here this morning. First of all, I just want to thank the boys that are sitting on stage. It is great to see some of our leaders actually leading in this space, and to have them all up playing their part this morning has been fantastic. So can we give them a big round of applause for this morning? The theme today that you would have seen right from our prayer, right through from what the boys have shown this morning, the staff that have come across the stage, the kids that have come across the stage, is all about community. I want to share with you, before I thank everybody else, an event that happened last night. Last night we had our Year 12 music showcase on. And talk about community, here's an example. It's an intimate night, so it is 12 to 15 boys from Year 12 music that get up. They get up in front of their parents and they play. In front of their friends, in front of their grandparents, brothers and sisters, whoever might turn up. And community last night was amazing. As they arrived last night, they went with the staff and they started preparing and getting themselves organised. While upstairs, as parents and grandparents arrived, brothers and sisters, they were greeted by Mrs. Clark and her Year 11 hospitality students who were providing food. They were walking around, they were waiting, they were having chats. There were grandparents, there were parents that were just absolutely floored by not only the quality of the food, but the respect and the manners and the welcome that they actually got last night. They then went into the theatre and the show started. All of the boys had a number of items that they were playing. And as they were playing, they were accompanied by some old boys. Not only Mr. Malicilia, who was sitting in there and actually helping them out, but there were 3 old boys that not only rushed out from the city last night to get here to help the boys, but they actually played to accompany the boys. So you talk about community, we've got a group of students who are providing food at the start. They're talking, they're handshaking, they're having those interactions. We've got boys who are going in and playing in front of their community, in front of their family. And then you've got old boys who are actually coming back and supporting. And you talk about, we have so many events that do happen here at the college that are really based around community. And for me, I was sitting at the back last night with Mrs. Clark, Mr. Malone was up there, and Brother Ernest was there last night, and Mr. Woodward, who was up in the IT box. And it's a shame that as a community we can't see how good some of our kids are. Oliver Tanous, who played today, played 3 or 4 songs last night. And he was absolutely amazing amongst all those other 12 to 15 boys that came on stage. But community, boys, is so special to all of us. To our boys who come across the stage for the public speaking and debating today, our soccer players, thank you for what you've been doing and congratulations for coming across the stage. To our brave 5 staff that came out and were under the microphone by the questions that Arthur had, congratulations and thank you for coming up here. And I think that actually shows the meaning of this place. When you hear authentically what those teachers are talking about this morning, I was standing over on the side with Mrs. Clark actually watching your faces, and all of you had your eyes on those teachers listening intently. This school means a lot, not just to you, to them. As people, as staff members, as teachers, this place makes an impact on people. So as you're having hard days or times when you might not want to get up and go to school in the morning, think about how lucky you are to be part of a community that actually cares about you, that provides for you, and the opportunities that are out there. Gentlemen, we're getting close to the end of Assembly. Thank you for your attention today, and once again, thanks to our Year 12 Liz for leading Assembly.
Thank you, Mr. Weeks. Can I now ask everyone to please stand and proudly sing the Subtuum? Please be seated. Gentlemen and staff, that does bring us to the end of today's assembly. I would like to once again echo the sentiments of Mr. Weeks and congratulate all the boys who came across the stage today, and thank you to my fellow leaders who helped put together this assembly. Also, can I extend a heartfelt thanks to the IT team for their work behind the scenes for making the assemblies like this happen. Gentlemen, under the direction of your heads of year and teachers, you are dismissed to period 1, and I hope you have a great Friday. Thank you.